thing about you, Dr. Adams. So how long have you been a doctor?
17 years.
17 years. And you actually went to med school and all that stuff?
Right.
Okay. And what kind of doctoring do you do?
Well, I consider it political activism. I went through medical school with the idea I wanted to use medicine for social change, so I looked at medical problems in care delivery, and upon graduation wanted to set up a model addressing all the problems. So we've never charged money, we don't accept third-party insurance, we don't carry malpractice, and we've lived with our patients as friends in our home. And now we're building a 40-bed hospital, free hospital in West Virginia.
So that very, very much is like the impossible dream.
Hey, we're happening.
You're happening.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to do this?
Oh, civil rights movement in the war in Vietnam, and deciding that I wanted to stop complaining and I wanted to try to do something about it. And I grew up a science nerd. I knew I was going to be a doctor, and I thought that...
you were a nerd, you knew it?
A lot of nerds do it.
A lot of nerds.
And so I thought that the best thing for me to do would be to try to set up a model for change, since greed's probably a major disease in our society. If we took the most expensive thing in America and gave it away for free.
So you're one of those people who actually practice what you preach?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And how has it worked for you? I mean, doesn't your mother want to know when you're going to start charging people?
She did, until we went public. She was very much concerned that I mean, she was as concerned that I lived communally as she was that I didn't charge money. But once we refused publicity our first 12 years, and now the last 5 we've allowed it. And because her friends read about it and they say, hey, Anna, that's great, I'm a good boy now. Oh,
good. Good. And so how do you manage to survive? Because those socks cost money.
That's right. We get donations from all over the country, and we manage to do it because we will not accept another position. We live communally, which lowers our costs. And
when you say we, that means how many people? And does that mean you just treat the people who are living communally with you?
No. The hospital that we're building will be a 40-bed hospital. And
this is where, in Virginia?
In West Virginia. Our last active year, we saw patients from 40 states and 18 countries. It's cheaper to come to our hospital from anywhere in the country than the cost of the first day in any hospital in the country. So we really want to serve the country's needs as much as we can. And we will have 40 staff that live in the hospital, and with their children. 10 of them will be MDs, and there'll be other kinds of health professionals, acupuncturists, homeopaths, and chiropractors, that sort of thing, along with surgery and OBGYN.
Yeah, and these are all doctors.
Yes, ma'am.
Who've decided that they're not out for greed.
Right. There are a lot of them. The fact is, huge numbers of physicians and nurses and people in this country would love to serve in a serving context. It's just that it's extremely expensive to try to develop that kind of context, and that's why it's taken us 18 years, and we're still unbuilt. We still need a fair amount of funds. And
so you don't have malpractice insurance, and you don't have, no, all that stuff.
No, it's not fun.
And you don't take money from Blue Cross or
no, wouldn't.
Medicare. You don't take any money.
No. That's why I'm so happy.
That's great. That's really great. And so now, after doing the show, of course, every sick person in the world is going to be calling you.
Well, we're not seeing patients right now. We felt we used our home as a hospital. If you can imagine a large single-family dwelling with 20 adults living in it, having 500 to 1,000 people in your home a month with 5 to 50 overnight guests a night, with you already had 20 adults and their children living there, that wasn't a model. We need a model. We need to build a model. And so we stopped doing our work after 12 years, and now we're devoting... I have enough staff for 5 free hospitals, so I think it's much more important that I build a working model of what we're describing than to continue to see patients. So right now what we need are people help. People come from all over the world, pay their way there, and work for nothing, and that's what we need right now, helpers.
So it's sort of like a Peace Corps sort of thing.
Yes, it's really just nice people wanting to be generous and not taking from the world.
That's really incredible. You're to be applauded for that. You really are. Yay.